Hey everybody, this is Kelly McAlpine of Rojo Chief Clothing, and as you see, if you click on my link in the bio section of my Instagram page, it'll take you to all my links. So I'm going to click on my clothing store so you can check out all the different clothing items that I have here. And then also I'm going to let you see where I have my Anchor FM podcast as well for you guys to listen to. And now let's get ready. Hey everybody, this is Kelly of Rojo Chief Clothing, and as you see here, this is a video that I did as an intro to the podcast that I have on Anchor FM that breaks down what Just Sanguinis is, which means by the blood, meaning you're a citizen because you have the blood, you have the blood tie or the ancestry that ties you to the land that you're a citizen of, versus just soli, meaning being born there, like a person that's a foreigner that has a baby here, and then that baby is an anchor baby, meaning that child is a citizen of the United States because they were born on American soil. Whereas the difference between us and them, we're born here and we have a birthright to this land. And we're citizens because they created our ancestors as citizens because of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924. So I'll go into all of that now to expound upon that, on those ideas. I'm going to show you what Autochtons of America says about nationality and how Indian tribes are nations, and how the turtle gang, which descended from the Lenni Lenape, how they say that their nationality is Lenni Lenape, which is an Indian tribe and also a nation. And as you see here, Autochtons of America, he has his own website, Autochtons of America, where you can buy sea moss. And as you see, all these different things that sea moss is able to do for you. It's packed with omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, vitamins A and K. And also, it's good for quick digestion, loaded with fiber, and serves as a very mild laxative. And it aids regular bowel movements and helps remove excess waste buildup. And as you also know, that it's antiviral as well. It really helps with, fighting bacteria and viruses within your body, helping your immune system. So go and purchase his products. But let's look at this post right here. It says Moorish Americans are indigenous to the Americas. Okay, so let's see.
On people that have nationalities, not tribal affiliation. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it hard for me. They want you to believe that when you claim to be a Moorish American, now all of a sudden, all of that Chata or Tasalagi or Ananawiya or what's another one? Sisiskia or Pahatawan. So like when you become a Moorish American, like none of that stuff exists no more. So now all of that blood that was in you, that's from those peoples that was already here, all of a sudden when you say that you are more Moorish American, that no longer applies. The only way they can be brought back into effect is because of your nationality. Treaties are based on people that have nationalities, not tribal affiliation. Why the fuck you lie?
And so basically, he told the truth and a lie at the same time, and that was the Asir, the Duke of Tears, by the way. Now, he is a Moorish American, and he has a temple, or I know that he used to have a temple down in Florida. And then there used to be a man by the name of Taj Tariq Bey, which is true, who's like in his 70s, and that was going around telling our people that they're Moors versus being Indians, and saying that the Moors were reclassified as Indians and all these other things, And we already know that yes, Europeans had said that our ancestors, the Indians, that they looked like Moors and they looked like, Ethiopians, but that doesn't mean that they were racially or ethnically those groups of people, since those people are geographically on the other side of the world. Okay, so anyways, it says a seer is running game along with Taj Tariq Bey according to the law as affirmed in Articles 9 of the Universal Right of Indigenous Peoples clearly states that indigenous peoples have the right to identify and self-determine their nationality. Families makes clans makes tribes, tribes makes nations. The definition of a nation is a group of people with one thought under a constitution or bylaws unified with land, history, culture, and military. There's countless laws that verify Indian nations are nations.
That means the real people. We got a language, we got a river, we got everything. I take you to my burial grounds, everywhere. You standing in my territory right now, right? If we went to Africa right now, everybody would bow down and kiss the ground and respect every deity in Kemet, in Africa, wherever you may be. But our people run around here and don't respect any of the indigenous histories, deities, or nothing, and they wonder why we in such a bad position. They ask me my nationality,
and it says, here you go, bro. You didn't have a nationality before. And then you see he gave the little person a flag that represents the nation. He says, yeah, I can stop being a color now. And we already know what what he's talking about. Instead of saying that you're a black American, now you have a nationality, which is the tribe of which your ancestors came from, right? So in their case, Lenni Lenape, okay? So here it says, America, separated by Europe by a wide ocean, was inhabited by distinct people, divided into separate nations, independent of each other and the rest of the world, having institutions of their own and governing themselves by their own laws. Chief Justice Worcester 31 U.S. at 542-43. So anyway, I believe that's the code, or how it's codified in the United States codes, that this particular judgment by this United States Chief Justice, and as you know, like the Chief Justice, their job is to interpret what the Constitution says, since the Constitution is the law of the land. And inside the Constitution, it clearly mentions the Indian tribes as being Indian nations, okay? And also that treaties are also the law of the land as well. All right? So anyways, moving on, it says, some Americans find it difficult to believe that Indian tribes of the United States are nations. As Supreme Court said, since discovery, the European powers, and we know the European powers were the Dutch, the British, the French, the Spanish or Spaniards, or the Portuguese. Okay? Because they were the ones who came over here to fight with the Indian nations. So, anyway, so as you know, they fought with our ancestors. And it says, and the United States have dealt with Indian tribes as nations and entered into over 300 treaties with them under international law. Only nations can make treaties, which is true. It says, in fact, the 1868 treaty between the Navajo Nation and the United States declares the Navajo Nation to be a nation. The Navajo Nation Code also declares that the phrase Navajo Nation shall be used to describe the lands and peoples of the Navajo Nation. And then he said, hashtag tribes are nations, which is true. And then it says indigenous Americans are not Moors or Moroccan, which is also true. Because when you look inside of these, or you read these treaties, it doesn't say, the Moors of the Indian nation, so-and-so. You can put any Indian nation in that place. You could put the Chickasaw Nation. It doesn't say the Moors of the Chickasaw Nation or the Moors of the Choctaw Nation. It doesn't say that. It says the Indians, or it'll say the Aboriginals or Aborigines of whatever Indian nation it is that the treaty is, that the United States made with that indigenous group of people, okay? So anyways, it says, did you know in 2016 delegates from 12 indigenous American nations presented at the United Nations. It says tribes, hashtag tribes or nations. So that's something I didn't know. And that's very imperative. It's very important for our people to understand it and to know that. Okay? And then it says, on your way to the barracks to fight for Morocco because you a Moorish American subject to the Sultan of Morocco. Which would be true because inside that treaty that the Moorish Americans talk about, that treaty is a treaty of commerce for one. And it also, the Moroccan Treaty of Peace and Friendship, it lists the people, the Moroccans, as being subjects of the Sultan of Morocco, whoever the Sultan of Morocco was at that time. Okay? And then this is a fez on a person who's claiming to be Moorish American. They're crying because, you know, they want to believe so bad that the Indians, the American Indians, the indigenous people of this landmass, who have ties to this land by law, which they call just sanguinis, by the blood is what that means in law, that we have citizenship by just sanguinis, not by just soli, which is somebody being born here, like an anchor baby that's born by a foreigner on these lands. It's totally different. We have totally different status from them, and that's just what it is. Plus, if you haven't seen the other video yet, what's also a powerful aspect of just sanguinis is the thing that our people have power, which is here on this land through their Aboriginal title. Okay, so I'm going to show you that real quick. Okay, now on this right here, I have a video. It's entitled Aboriginal Sovereignty and Imperial Claims and Indian Nations in the Constitution. Now you guys really need to read this book. You guys really need to get this book. Get this book as soon as possible. Okay, because you see what it says, Aboriginal Sovereignty and Imperial Claims. It's very important. It goes into talking about international law, talks about the sovereignty of American Indian nations, and that goes hand in hand in what Autochtons of America is teaching you, that indigenous nations, indigenous tribes are indeed nations according to the Constitution and the Indian Treaty. So this applies to you because of who you descended from. So please look at this video and please like this video, okay? It's very important. And I have the links below, okay, for you to be able to read as well, okay, so you can see it for yourself. Anyways, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.